Hello everyone, today I am looking at Killer is Dead. This is probably Suda's, I would say, most successful game outside No More Heroes. There's been Lollipop Chainsaw, Shadows of the Damned, the Tower one, I forget what it's called, like Time to Die or something, and I would say that this one is probably his best work outside of all of those. You play Osmondo Zappa, a assassin, of course, in a worldwide kind of, trip to basically take out a series of targets. What's interesting about Zappa is that he has a mechanical robot arm which he can turn into a gun, and it's very interesting that the diamonds and aesthetics of kind of Shadows of the Damned have been incorporated into this game. So a lot of the designs and mechanics of that one are present here, where you had all of your weapons that were long ranged are now present for Mondo, and he also has a sword. So he's very much like a crossover of Travis and Garcia Hotspur, I guess you could say. And he has a very interesting story that takes him to a very weird, interesting places. What I do like about Mondo is not only his personality, he's very the opposite of Travis, really. He's very calm, controlled, clean cut, and a little bit sadistic. But he has this little group of friends where he has his little Mika is kind of the cheerleader and logistics operator of the group. He has his boss and the other characters, and they kind of all form this very funny team where they send up backup to help him out occasionally, but Mondo himself is the main star of the show. And there's a lot of cool mechanics here where Mondo can basically build up a blood charge and all this other stuff. He can also use his gun and his sword to take care of business. And the story itself is a little bit, honestly, convoluted as to exactly what's going on. One of the first hit missions, you basically end up almost in an Alice in Wonderland style world, and it's kind of just off the walls, and a lot of crazy stuff happens. But the overarching rivalry is between Mondo and this guy, I guess, called David, who is the heir to the Galactic Throne or something. I'm really not sure what was going on at a certain point. All I know is that I ended up on a palace on the moon for basically like the final confrontation. And David's design and character, he's one of these sadistic assholes that's much more outspoken and extroverted, and he's a perfect contrast to Mondo's character. There are definitely a few upgrades you can get for your gun to do different things throughout the game, different movesets, upgrade your health, etc., and basically using your points from each kind of map. There is one level where you have to fight aliens and the like. There's another level where you are essentially engaging with this kind of, a traditional Japanese aesthetic. Another one where I said you're Alice in Wonderland. Another one we're in this sort of vampire's castle. What's also really nice about this game, it also has a lot of references to other Suda 51 works, like No More Heroes and Killer is Dead. And they're very, kind of subtle and kind of, on the down low, but they are kind of there. Again, what's funny is that we see a lot of return of the symbolism, the moon and different kinds of things like that. At the end of every mission, you get a score and a rank and points to, upgrade your stuff. What is also, I guess, nuanced and interesting that I didn't expect about this game is that there is a dating minigame. And basically, you have 2 or 3 different women that you kind of have to schmooze up and basically give them a consortment of different gifts, different kinds of, dialogue options. And then you take them to bars and dates and all this other stuff, and you basically have different ways to kind of pay for their hearts, basically, and find a way to basically make them yours, I guess. And for each one, you get a different kind of strategy for doing that. But yeah, the gameplay goes around, Mondo, it's chopping through waves of enemies. There's aerial ones you have to shoot down with your gun, and, bosses. And again, I feel like this game is really trying to be the next kind of No More Heroes, but it's kind of not really hitting its mark. Mainly because I think the characters, the main cast are good, but the enemy types just aren't as compelling, except for David. Something else that I also really noticed or kind of got into is this is the first time I've heard any piece of media use the Symphony of the Planets by Dvorak. I think it's called something else, but they played specifically... Oh no, I'm sorry. A new symphony for the new world, and so that classical piece is actually the main theme for the final boss fight in this game, and that's just kind of something that, again, I never expected from a Suda game to have classical music as the final boss fight theme. But yeah, I think it really works. It's very interesting and exciting, and yeah. Again, this is not a No More Heroes. I feel like that was such a peak, and he's been trying different things to kind of emulate and try to get that same energy, but it really hasn't panned out to be something as iconic as No More Heroes. These are all kind of great little things to try and see and, look at, and they're kind of like, again, like okay versions, but still just not really hitting that really big stride that we'd like to see that is iconic as what he's used to make. But yeah, it's not bad. I'd give it a shot. That's it. See ya.